Hey guys, Shaya here and welcome to my YouTube channel. And in this video I'm gonna do a sketchbook tour of one of the sketchbooks that I actually finished. And I'm happy because this one took me really long time. And don't get me wrong, usually I'm more consistent with my sketchbooks, but because I have working currently in 8 sketchbooks. This one kind of fell apart and not fell apart, but I did repurpose it. I use it for everything, and you're gonna see what I mean. But then I decided to use it only for one specific topic to draw inside. But yeah, in the end, I use some of the paper from inside and cut some of the pages and glue some as well, add some stuff, but you're gonna see more over here. But before I go further, I just have to point out that this is one of my Christmas gifts, not made, but given to me and sent to me by my dear friend from bullet journal engineer Emilia, and I use this a lot in this sketchbook. That's why this place is over here. I have some of my washi tape over here and my Inca coffee, because I don't drink coffee in general, but I like the smell of Inca. It's very healthy. I will try my best to add in my description down below, so you can check it out if you want to. So about the sketchbook. The sketchbook, I found it on a local bookstore, if I may say, and it was very reasonable as a price. And one thing that I really did like about it was the cover, because it's hardcover, and it's looked like a cork, which I really did like. The pages are a bit yellowish, so that's one of the things that I really didn't like. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try, because I'm using other sketchbooks that are having this kind of a yellow pages, sort of ivory, if I may say, as a color. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's a A5 size, which is a reasonable size if you want to go out with it and to draw. The pages are ultra thin, at least for my taste, but I think they're like 100 GSM. I'm not sure, because when I bought it there was no indication whatsoever for the brand or something like that, so I cannot give you that information. But yeah, let's dive in, and you're gonna see how I repurpose it at one point. So for the starters, I have my front page, and I really do like how this one turns out, because in the end I was thinking that I wanted to approach my starting page of my sketchbooks quite differently. So I have a washi tape over here. Those are stickers. All of those are stickers who I personally made. And with the quality of those stickers, I send my sticker rewards to my Patreons, but their stickers are a bit more larger as size. And honestly, I really do like how this turned out. It's kind of a vibrant, and it's on me, because I remember when I did draw this one, I really do like this one's cape. This study, also this study, this is made traditionally, and then I scan it and make it as a sticker for my personal use. And one of my favorite, actually, this is one of my first interpretations, if I may say, hidden smile, because This one I made it as a sketch in one of my previous sketchbooks, then scan it and use it as a base so I can draw it digitally. And I like the end result. It's kind of vibrant and with that neon and blue, and yeah, I just love neon colors. And I have my name over here with some stickers that I bought from somewhere I actually don't remember, and a quote from Van Gogh. Van Gogh. In my language is Van Gogh. In English is Van Gogh. So yeah, I wish they would only take me as I am. And I think it's fitting here. So yeah, let's continue. I left this first page blank, so I didn't add anything. I was planning to do something here, but just fell it apart. And you can see over here I have a date. It's 17th of September 2021, so this is when I started this sketchbook. So this sketchbook is like a year and almost and a half old, and I haven't done too much in it because, like I said, I sometimes get into other sketchbooks, and like a typical artist, we love to have more sketchbooks, and I repurpose almost all of my sketchbooks. I started with something, or like I dedicated specific sketchbook for something that I really want to focus on in it. And this is one of them. After I started, I decided to repurpose it, but you're gonna see what I mean. But before that, I'm gonna take a little sip. Delicious. And yeah, I love this mug. So over here I have a sketch that I did randomly. I was trying my best to fill the space because I think this is one of the things that I kind of struggled to fill the whole spread, if I may say, because I'm used to draw in a big kind of a place, and I'm used to draw a full painting or a full sketch, like complete sketch, and all of those little things are a bit more difficult for me, so I'm working on that currently. I like this one. I like how this one turned out in the end, to be honest. This one is kind of okay, and I even add a note to myself. The pencil that I was using is Bright Red 11 from Derwent, and I like it, but it's not my cup of tea, if I may say, because the pencil that I was using was not my favorite one. Over here I did some landscape fast sketches for different landscapes. I like this one. I like also this one. This one is one of my favorites, even though it's kind of a messy, and I know what this is. This is in Florence. I actually had an image that I saw, and then I decided this is gonna look very good if I try to draw it in a big traditional way with more watercolors, or maybe draw it digitally. I'm still not sure when this is gonna happen, but I'm planning to do that. So over here I have a tally doodle, because in every my sketchbook, it's not gonna be my sketchbook if I don't have a tally doodle, just saying. Over here I have some swatches. Those actually look very good in this sketchbook. I don't know why, and I was testing if they blend through or bleed through, and they didn't. Those, on the other hand, those are my eco lines. They were kind of cool, and I like that the page is not so thick but also not so thin, and this still have this wobbly kind of effect, which I really do like. So over here I have an assignment with one of my students. He is actually one of my former students. Back then we still go online, so I give him an assignment and I do it with him. draw a different kind of a spots of colors and draw something on top of it. And this is very relaxing and very funny kind of assignment, because you can think about something, all of the things you can see in your own home, like plate. This is a rubber. This is very cute. I like it. Washing machine, and this is one of my oil paints, which reminds me that I have to buy new ones. This is also drawn with him on an online lesson. We did something different, and I know this is a very big empty space, but I prefer to leave it like that. Over here, it's again a lesson with him. We did a study of mushrooms. So he draws his own mushrooms like that. I give him an assignment, and as well I did for myself also to practice. And I love how those two turns out. I really do enjoy this one, and I like the details of that one. Over here I have a drape and some practice with gouache, because I wanted to see how the paper will react with gouache. And back then I was not very good with gouache, just to say, at least. It was a total different medium for me and materials, and it was kind of a struggle at first, but I think I'm getting the hang of it, and I do want to draw more with gouache in the future. And from now on, from this page forward, I decided to repurpose this sketchbook and to draw only to practice faces, anatomy, and stuff like that, even though I have some other stuff that are in, but they're also cohesive with the whole new repurpose thing that I decided to do. So this is an old man. I don't like this one, but this was my warm-up, which is kind of weird. This one is looking much better than this one. But yeah, over here I decided to mix stuff up and use some pencils, because I think it's giving that cohesiveness. I tried to use the dark blue to have on the outlines, the form, some of the basics, and also to imply some of the shadows, because it didn't really do look kind of interesting and more cohesive. And I wanted to do 2 by 2, like one here and one here, so you can open the spread and you can see that. And I'm practicing more like male faces, because usually I draw more female faces. And this one I really do like, to be honest, how this one turned out. Over here I cover something that I really didn't like, and this is postcard that I made for my Patreons. This is Alexios. I'm very happy with this one. This is made especially for Alan Zax's Ezio Odyssey remix that he made, and I really do love it. Also, this one was shared by Assassin's Creed official page on Instagram, and I'm so proud of this one, because I really do put a lot of effort to make this digital art, even though over here is a bit darker, the print was a bit darker, but nonetheless I really do like how this one turns out. And over here on this other part, because it's 2 sets, is Ezio, but I don't have it here, so yeah. I'm continuing with my studies. This is from a sculpture. This is also from a sculpture, and I love. This is my warm-up that I did. This not so much, but I like how soft it looks. Even though I see some of the mistakes that I did, I really do like the whole idea and how it turns out. And yeah, over here I glue some of the pictures because I didn't like what I did. This one I shared on my social media, I think on Instagram more than in my other social medias. And I like how soft this one turned out, to be honest. And I'm really looking at now, thinking that I may make it and use this one as a base to draw my digital input on that sculpture. So studying from the masters, it's always useful, so you can get more confident and to see where you are and to practice. For my purpose for this sketchbooks was definitely to practice and to improve my line work and the softness. Actually, over here, this was kind of interesting because this is the front of the sculpture and this is the back of the same sculpture, but I didn't add the black background, and I really do like it. It's very simple. This is also a reference that I found on Pinterest. I cannot remember, so I cannot give you guys where it is, but I like how it turns out. I do see some small mistakes because I was kind of in a rush to say at least, but I like it. And this was my first one from that part. This is something that I started but I didn't like, so I left it. Over here I also did another study, and I'm gonna take another sip of my Inca. It's perfect, warming. And yeah, over here I shared that on Instagram and my other social medias. I like how this one turned out in the end. I tried to be more bold with my ink pen, so I think that's a very good way to start to be more cohesive, if I may say. And I really do like how this one turned out, honestly. I may use it as well as a I forgot the word to make it as a digital art and to use this as a base. That's what I was working for. Over here I don't like that one, but then I decided to not to destroy this page in any kind of way, to cover it or not, so I decided to leave it like that because every now and then there's something that you don't like in your sketchbook. Over here is another one. I don't like how this one turned out. I see where my mistakes, I see over here there's a big mistake over here, but overall it's not super bad, but it's also not so good, so I have a kind of a mixed feelings about that. This one is one of my favorites to be honest. I really do like how this one turned out in the end because it's a beautiful, I really do like it. I may use this one at one point as a base as well. This is my friend Nikki. I love that girl, so she gonna watch this. Girl, I love you, now everyone knows. And we were out around last year, so this started last year before I got COVID, briefly before I got COVID. So we were out. I like her outfit and her flowiness of her hair, and I was like, I have to take a photo of you because I wanted to draw it. And she was like, okay, fine. What do you want me to do? And I say, just do that, be yourself, and here is the end result. I really do think at one point I have to draw her digitally. So yeah, I really do like that one as well. I like how cohesive it is, and I like this contrast. I wanted to have a contrast when I open my pages in my own sketchbooks. I wanted to, first of all, to see do I have a progress in my sketchbooks? Do I grow as an artist? And sketchbooks are my safety space and also a place I can explore, I can try something different. And I really do encourage you guys, if you want to have a sketchbook, you don't have to be an artist to have a sketchbook, just to make that thing clear. If you want to draw, just go with the flow and just try it. So yeah, I really do like this one. Over here, I started this one. There is a photo that I found on Pinterest that really grabs my eye, and I wanted to make it, but at one point I started it, left it like that, and I think it's more mysterious that way. Over here is an old digital drawing that I did. I think it's back in 2017, I'm not sure. But this was also a postcard from my patrons. It was a bit bigger and I cut it and glue it. Also this hunter, Jack from Mass Effect, and I think this part over here was when I was sick with COVID. So yeah, this was after I was felt a bit better. Just to point out that at one point I didn't feel very well, and this was my safety space. I took some of my stuff in isolation. So yeah, over here I decided to draw one of my other favorite characters, Sally, and I did it, but I actually don't like how this one turned out so much. It's have a potential, but I think I can make it a bit better. And it was kind of a try, to say at least. Over here it's a random doodle. It's my warm-up because it's very rushed. Over here my other warm-ups and doodles, and I tried to do a character. I really do like this character, how it turned out. Kind of a smirk over here, closed eyes, and in profile. And I like this one. I think if I start working on this one a bit more and to clean it up and to translate in different sketchbook dedicated to that, it will be awesome. Warm up. Over here I try something new, and over here I started to repurpose it totally to have sessions, drawing sessions. I think it's a very important if you want to be an artist. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or expert or in between, in the middle. It's totally fine to have this kind of a practice every now and then, because that way you practice your hand and your eyes and your brain to see and to make the lines, to make the values and all of those movements in the end. So this is my first session, and like I said, I was struggling to make everything in one page. I don't like this one, to be honest. And since this was my first 1 minute session, it was kind of in a rush, but I think that's one of the beauty of it. 2 seconds, and what am I doing? I was drawing this, and at one point I was like, I'm getting lost. What's happening here? There's no cohesiveness, so her pelvis is a bit weird and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, I'm just drawing it and leave it like that, and that's it. So I have this pose over here. This is kind of also what am I doing, but then I said I'm not gonna be judgmental because this is a practice, and I do have to enjoy this process as well. Over here as well, not like that. So I said here to myself, not liking that one, but we will work. So yeah, this one is not so bad, but I really do like the pose of this one, even though I make the torso a bit bigger, like way too bigger for the feet and the head and everything. It's a bit too messy, but even though I like the flow and the movement, because this is the whole concept of doing those kind of sessions, is to get the flow and the dynamic. Over here, doing another one, much better. I said to myself, this is a 5-minute sketch, and then I got bored and I decided to draw the model's face in a totally different way that I usually draw, and I kind of like it. It's kind of smudging, but even so, I think it turned out kind of good. And then from this session, I decided to go a bit different and to use this pen. And we call it here like a feather pen. I don't know, I'm not sure how it's called in different countries, but I use it as a feather pen. I don't know why, but I like it. So I try to do it like that because there is no way of turning back, so there is no eraser. You are just you, the paper, and the ink. So I started over here and didn't like it because I was kind of scared to continue. And from then on, I was like, okay, I'm going forward and very boldly. And I like this pose, even though it's kind of a weird and not finished. You can see the movement. This is not right on so many levels because her neck is over here and you have to be like that. But yeah, this one is kind of weird one. The model was laying down. I tried to capture the movement, the essence of that. Those are 2 minutes. I really do like those two, and actually I kind of like this one, even though it's kind of a small upper part of the body. It's kind of fitting, and they look kind of interesting. I really do like the end result. I didn't draw the face because I didn't have time to draw that, but I wanted to capture as much as I can for the movement and the poses, even though this leg is a bit shorter than was supposed to be, and this was in a very strange perspective. And over here, this was a very nice pose, this one as well. I really do like how this one turned out. I may work on that pose on a different matter. Like I may try to recreate this one as digital art at one point, or as a personal piece. I'm not sure yet, but I really do like how this one turned out. So I started something here, but I didn't like it, and I was thinking to glue those two, but then I decided not to do that, apparently. So there are some pages that I don't like the end result, so I left them like that. Here I'm drawing a male body, and what am I doing, because it was kind of weird, and I don't like that one, to say at least. That one's kind of okay, but this one is kind of total bizarre, but it's part of the process. So this was my 2-3 warm-ups, especially this one and this one were my total warm-ups. And this is more looking like a man, a human body, but this is looking like a total big blob. Over here, like very fast two ones. I don't like those two, but I like that one. And that one is kind of a getting the idea this is a man who's walking. I didn't have the time to draw his feet over here, but still, his foot, not feet. I like this one, even though there are some kind of hiccups over here and here, but overall I have this movement, like the line. And over here we have the line as well, because it's kind of turned. It also is in front of us. You can see it more. It was a very interesting process. Nope. I messed this up. Yeah, definitely I messed this up because it was a very weird pose, and I was looking at it and I was like, okay, my brain definitely didn't want me to draw this, but overall I tried to force myself to draw it, at least at one point. And this part is okay, but this part, the lower part of the body, was like, what am I doing? I have no idea. I was the focus of the perspective, so I left it like that. But this one is kind of interesting. I like this kind of a oval feeling of the proportions and the compositions, to be more precise, not proportions. And this one actually turned out kind of good. And for a fast sketch, because I'm having a timer like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or maybe 15 minutes, depends what kind of a sessions you're doing. It's a very unique perspective, what you have to left out, what you have to add. This one is also one of the past ones. Not perfect at all, definitely not perfect, but I can see that at least I tried. And I kind of like it, even though it's not perfect, it's working. This one as well, practice makes perfect. I sometimes I left this kind of notes to myself because you can get so overwhelmed at one point that something is not happening when you're drawing or practicing, or you want to study something, or you want to get better at something, and there is this little voice in your head that is saying it's not happening, and you have to shush it and to say, I'm gonna do it, even it's wrong, even it's not good, I'm gonna continue drawing. So I did that. But this one I really do like. You can get the feeling, even though the hand is kind of weird, but overall I try to do as much as I can so I can see that this is actually a male body. Over here as well, this model have a bit of a tummy, so I try to represent the body as well as I can. And I think it's okay to draw different varieties of body shapes, so that's perfect, so you can get your hand and your eye to practice a bit more. And I really do like this pose. It turns out very well, very well. Over here I'm trying something different. This one was kind of okay, but this one I think is my favorite from this three figures, because this is having a bit more power to it, even though they are colliding over here, and I like it. I really do like it. This one is also one of my favorites. This time I have the legs and the feet, even though it's kind of a weird one. It's not perfect, but I like it. This one as well, it's having that kind of a fall, and you can see over here the line of movement. And over here I had some noses practice. I didn't. I did a study of it, different noses only with that pen. Over here I did a different kind of approach for some pose studies. I use reference. I don't remember the name of that model, so I'm sorry, but I really did like that perspective, so I wanted to practice it a bit more. Over here a bit more dynamic one, and I figured out that I really do like using pencil or marker. In my case, this is made with markers, to try to capture the moment. It's making me more, I would say, a bit more precise with what I wanted to draw and to do. So yeah, I like this one as well, even though it's kind of rushed. And all of those are made like in 1-2 minutes, something like that. I wanted to do them fast so I can, you know, go forward and to capture the essence of the pose that I was looking at. Over here, different ballerina. Another one. I left her arm out of here. I don't know why, but still. Another one that I really do like this pose. I definitely thinking that to try this, to make it as a personal piece at one point. Different ones over here. This is a jump. Nope. This one is also a nope. Even though it's having like a beautiful start, I kind of messed it up. I don't know why, but I managed to do that. This one is not also so bad, but I definitely prefer to redo this one. Some male figures over here, and this one is the last one that I did. I left one page open. Like I said, I have used some of the papers over here for other purposes. And yeah, this is it. This is my sketchbook tour of this sketchbook, and I'm so happy that I finished this sketchbook finally after a year and a couple of months. And I hope you enjoy this video. And my tip for you is, if you're having a sketchbook, doesn't matter if you're beginner artist or professional artist, just continue drawing, and trust me, in the end, this is you you know, this is what you go through. Sometimes your struggles, if you want to practice, if you want to study something, just go with the flow and try to get better every single day. And it's not necessary everyone have to see your sketchbooks or your sketches. That's your personal choice. So yeah, I think this is it, guys. I really do hope you liked this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like that, consider subscribing to the channel and hit this notification button when I add a new video so you get informed. And yeah, if you want to see more behind the scenes and projects and all my other sketchbooks that I haven't finished yet and what I'm doing in them, consider supporting me on Patreon, where I'm having other rewards for the different tiers and the projects that I'm currently working on. So yeah, I'm gonna leave links down into the description to all of the things that I have used, in case I was using a sketchbook that I cannot tell you what it is, but I'm gonna give a link to an affordable sketchbook from Raw Talents. You can try it out with the similar pages. You can use it for watercolors, dry media, pastels if you like, gouache, and ink as well. So yeah, thank you so much guys for watching, and talk to you guys soon. Bye!